What's up, folks? It's Dan here from BeAGameCharacter.com, and today we're going to talk about warming up before your workout. Now, I did an old warm-up video that used to be here on the channel. Once this goes live, I'm going to be taking that one down because it's archaic and looks awful and whatever. So this is basically the routine that I do before every workout that I do, no matter what workout it is. And it's the one that I recommend that everybody else does as well. Just to talk briefly, the idea of a warm-up is to prepare your body for exercise. The only thing that I don't show in this is that after I do this, I will typically perform like 10 minutes of like light, easy cardio or movement of some sort. Just because, I mean, I don't really need to show you me hopping on a treadmill and walking for 10 minutes or going for a 10-minute walk, around my house or whatever. So basically, I do this, and then I walk for 10 minutes, and then I go and do my workout. Or if I'm doing like lifting and I don't feel like going for a walk, I'll do some body weight exercises first just to get my blood going and get me moving. So again, the idea of a warm-up before a workout is to prevent injury, is to get your body ready for whatever it is you're doing, and also to aid a bit with recovery time afterwards. So if you do this beforehand, you will do all three of those things. And this is going to be a companion piece to my cool-down routine as well. The difference between a cool-down routine is something that you're going to do after your workout, and it's stuff that's supposed to, help with recovery time, reduce soreness, also prevent injury, and generally improve range of motion. So without further ado, let's get into the warm-up. We're going to start off with a whole lot of movements to get our joints ready. So the idea here is that we want to prepare our joints for movement, get them lubricated up. Your body the more you move your joints, the more your body will prepare them for movement, if that makes any sense. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to activate all of our joint complexes as best we can before we do anything else. We're going to start off with moving our head around. Now, a lot of people do neck rolls to start off, and I am not necessarily opposed to neck rolls. However, when you do neck rolls, you need to be careful that you don't do this. All right? I'm doing what I shouldn't do. When you do neck rolls, a lot of people will roll their head around, and when they roll back, they'll put the head all the way back so that it basically goes back in their shoulder blades and flops back there. You don't want to do that. You don't want to compress your spine. Instead, what you want to do is, if you're going to do neck rolls, you want to roll your head around. When you get to this point, you want to look up and then back around again. So even though I like neck rolls, and we are going to do this part of this warm-up, you need to make sure that you do it properly. So starting with the neck rolls, you're going to roll your head around. When you get to the side here, you're going to look up into the air and then back around again. I'm going to circle a couple of times, and then you can go back around the other way. And then from there, you want to keep working the neck. You're going to look to your left, or look to your right, and then your left. You're going to look up. Again, don't put your head back. Look upwards, and you're going to look down. And then you're going to look side to side. Now, if you ever find yourself having a stiff neck, this is a good way to alleviate that. You just want to, if you have a stiff neck, move as far as you can comfortably in any given direction. Now, if you've got a stiff neck, you only go about this far in one direction or something like that. So you can do this kind of warm up a little bit more, but if you're just getting ready for regular exercise, that's usually enough. Next from there, we're going to move on to shoulders, and we're going to do some light shoulder shrugs. Now with these, you're focused on mainly doing a couple of things. You want to get your shoulders up, all right? You want to kind of activate your deltoids and your traps there, and then you're going to move back, and you're going to try and focus on just moving your scapula, your shoulder blades around. From the back, it's going to look like this. You don't want to push super hard in any given direction. You just want to circle around and get the movement going. You can go in both directions. You can circle forwards, you can circle back. The idea here is you don't want to just be going up and down, up and down. You don't want to be just dropping your arms down. You want to be slowly controlling the motion all the way around. This is a very good thing to do because your shoulders can be very prone to damage when working out. So getting them nice and lubed up and ready to go before you work out is essential. Once you've done your shoulder rolls a couple of times, you want to move to nice, slow, easy arm rolls, going backwards and forwards. You can just move them back and forth. Again, the idea here is we just want to tell our body, hey, we're going to be using all of our joints now. Time to start waking them up, getting them ready to rock. And I'm not going crazy fast here. I'm not trying to spin my arms as far as I can in any given direction or get super huge range of motion. I'm just moving a little bit. Once we've got our shoulders done, we're just going to move our elbows a little bit. We're going to move them up and down. We're going to move them back and forth like this. You can see I'm not going crazy here. I'm not going super wide with my hands. I'm just kind of crisscrossing back and forth and up and down. And finally, we can just roll our fingers and our wrists around. Do wrist circles one way and the other. Make your fingers all move independently of each other. Roll your fingers around, open them up, close them. Get everything ready to rock in there. Just kind of work on that range of motion a little bit. Don't go crazy. Just want to move them a little bit. This may feel great, by the way. If you've spent like all day typing or writing or doing something small and menial with your hands, this can feel amazing. So once we've done all those motions, we're going to then move on to warming up our spine, getting our vertebrae ready to go. So what we're going to do is just going to twist nice and easy back and forth. And as I'm doing this, I'm moving my arms with sort of an upward inflection motion here, back and forth, and turning my head and following them as I do. Now what I want to do is, I'm not being super militant about it, but I want to try and keep my hips relatively still. You can see they do still move a bit, but I don't want to be twisting at my ankles. That's not the idea of this exercise. You want to keep your hips relatively still, and you're just twisting back and forth and swinging those arms nice and gently. You're going to hear me say that over and over again. The idea here is not to go crazy with the force of your motions. What you want to do is just get some nice, easy movement going back and forth. And you can do these for a while. These feel great. You're going to slowly wake up kind of your whole back and trunk region. And you can try changing the angle of your hands a little bit. You can bring it a little more level like this if you want. All right, I wouldn't go too far down necessarily, but even this can be good. And you're just kind of moving your back. This is great if you're going to do an exercise with lots of climbing or deadlifts or any kind of other back exercise, pull-ups, chin-ups, stuff like that. Once we have done our trunk twists a bit, we're then going to put our hands on our hips, and we're going to just roll our upper body around, nice and simple, nice and easy. We come back, we want to get a nice gentle arch in our back, but notice I'm not going crazy on this. I'm not trying to do a limbo. I'm not trying to really stretch my abs out or anything. What I'm doing here again is I'm just opening up all of my vertebrae, all right? I am getting my body ready to move. I am making sure that everything that's going on around my spine is awake and ready to go. So we're just going to keep rolling our body around. You can switch directions as much as you want while you're doing this. You can go one way and then go back the other way. Again, not going crazy with the range of motion, just nice and gentle circles. If all you got is this, that's all you got. That's fine. It'll get better with time. From there, we're going to move on to hip circles. This is kind of like what you do when you're hula hooping, but what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have nice, soft knees. If you try to do this with straight knees like this, it's not good. You want soft knees, nice and easily bent, and you really kind of want to feel that motion all through your hips and your lower back. From the side, you can see what I'm talking about with soft knees. I'm not squatting super hard or anything. I've just got them nice and easily bent so they move very easily. I'm not trying to, be super rigid with my feet. My feet are coming up and going where they want to go. It's just kind of an easy motion. Now, you'll notice what I'm not going to do is this one, where you put your hands on your knees and circle the knees around. Serves no purpose. You can actually injure your knees that way. When it comes time for that, what we're going to do is after we do our little hula hoop circles here, we're going to move on to just nice and easy, doing some slow kickouts with each leg. Because you want to think about the motion in which your knees are meant to move. Your knees are not meant to move laterally. We want to strengthen them laterally sometimes, but they're not meant to move like that. They are meant to move like this. They're hinges, all right? Just like this. You can see from the side. Nice and easy kickouts. I'm not going super hard as before. Just nice and smooth, nice and slow. And then from there, we just want to move on to our final area, which is our ankles. And you can do this a couple of ways. I like to do just standing ankle twists like this, move them around, get some motion going there. Other people might like to put their toes on the ground and circle around like that. If you don't have great balance, this is a nice way to do it. I just prefer to pick them up because I feel like I've got a little bit more range of motion that way. And you might get to that point as well. But you notice we went up for a top-down approach there. And we're going to do the same for the second part of our workout, which is going to be some just simple dynamic stretches. So this previous point was for joint health. This next part is to get your muscles activated and ready to go. A lot of people used to do static stretches before working out. Some people still do static stretches before working out. A static stretch is where you assume some sort of position, pulling the arm across the chest, behind the head and stuff, and just hold it and feel the stretch. Now, while static stretches do have their place, they're actually a lot better in a cool-down workout, okay? So you want to do that after your workout, not before, because what it does is it elongates your muscle fibers. It causes some damage to them as well. It can really detract from your ability to perform during your workout. And on top of that, it doesn't actually prevent any sort of injury, because The static stretch is for just elongating and increasing the range of motion of the muscles. Dynamic stretches are actually preparing your muscles to deal with the potential shock they might encounter during a workout. So for our dynamic stretches, we're not going to do any dynamic stretches with our neck. It's a very delicate region. We don't really want to mess with that too much. It does just fine on its own. You shouldn't be doing high-impact neck exercises anyway. We're going to start off with our arms. And with our arms, we're going to start with just a nice, easy up and down motion. You notice here as I'm swinging up, I'm swinging my arms up, and I'm going up on my toes. We want to try and elongate our body all the way up when we're doing this. I've almost got like a little arch to my back as I'm coming up. You can see from the side here, I'm going up and down, up and down. Got that nice little knee bend as I'm coming down. And you just want to do this a few times. This is another one that feels great. Most of these should feel really good. If you're feeling any kind of pain or discomfort during your warm-up, you're doing something wrong. You either want to talk to a doctor about what you're feeling or not do that motion anymore. Once you've done your up and downs a bit, you're going to do some crisscrosses back and forth. Now the up and downs will warm up your trunk a bit, as well as your back, and to some extent your triceps, but usually not so much. This one right here is more for opening up your chest region. It's going to hit your pecs and basically everything in the front part of your body. And again, we're not going crazy. I'm not trying to swing super hard or super far. I'm just trying to swing out and back, and the other thing I'm focusing on is keeping my arms relatively level. I don't want to be swinging down here like this, because you won't feel that so much. You're letting gravity do the work, and you're not really stretching out those muscles. You want to come up here and keep it level, up around shoulder height. And notice I'm alternating my arms back and forth. After this, you can return to that other swing that we did earlier. Just go a little further with it if you want. This is particularly good if you're going to be doing a very chest-heavy workout. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to do just some nice side trunk bends back and forth. Now, you don't want to go and just sit here and hang and hold it. That's the static stretch version of this. Instead, what we want to do is just nice and easy back and forth. I'm not going crazy here again. This is not super hard. I'm not trying to drive as hard as I can and then pull back up in any given direction. I'm just trying to go and stretch out. This is going to hit your obliques and your abs a bit. Also might also hit up your lats a bit on your arms right here as you're doing them. And we're just going to go back and forth. For any of these, 5 to 10 is a good number. You don't have to go crazy. Just want to start activating those muscles. Oh, feels great. Next, from there, we're going to start warming up our lower region. All right, we've done basically everything we can do dynamic stretches with from the upper region. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to just do some nice leg swings. And I covered these in the How to Kick Higher video. If you watched that, I've got a video on dynamic stretches. But all we're going to do is we're just going to step in. We're going to swing our leg up nice and easy. Just like that. And as I mentioned in the other video, the Kick Higher video, you're not going for crazy height right off the bat. All right? Right here. I mean, this might be higher than you can kick, but I've been doing martial arts my whole life. This is relatively low for me. I just want to start nice and easy. And what this is going to do is this is going to stretch out your hamstrings, your glutes, get your quads activated, nice and easy. And you can do the other leg too. Boom. And as you're going, you can swing a little bit higher if you want. I mentioned this on the Kick Higher video as well. You can swing a little bit higher as you go and warm up. But again, we're not trying to go crazy. This is not our workout. This is our warm-up, all right? From there, we can go and swing to the side, like this. And if you want to do it without the step, you can, but I find that for a warm-up purpose, going with the step makes life a lot easier. You got that little momentum to help push you a little further. And you can again do both sides, step in and swing. And as you're doing this, some people might not quite have the flexibility necessary to keep the foot pointed forward like that. So if you turn your foot a little to the side like that, that's fine too, all right? You're doing a little more like this kind of motion. You want to try and get to the point where you're swinging with your foot running in parallel with this on the ground. But if you can't quite get there yet, that's fine. Range of motion is going to come with doing this warm-up more. And then finally, we're going to swing our foot to the back. So for this, all you're going to do is step backwards and kick up like that. And notice I'm not being super, vigilant about keeping my legs straight. It's bending, flexing upwards. That's totally fine. You're going to do the other one too. In fact, by doing that, you're going to feel this a little more in your quads sometimes than if you try and keep it super rigid, because you might not have the range of motion if you're keeping your legs straight to really hit those quads. But if you keep it bent, and just let it flex on its own, let the weight of your foot carry itself up. It's going to feel awesome. Now, all of these can be performed, the leg exercises, with one hand on the wall, okay? And if you have a hand on the wall, you can even do like a swing like this, back and forth with your legs. I prefer to do the walking swings just because I feel like I get a little momentum. And I've got the balance for it. You might not have it yet, so that's fine. So if you need to put your hand on the wall or something for these swings, totally fine. But that's it. That's the end of our warm-up session, all right? After performing that, you should be ready for basically any exercise routine you want to do. If you're only focusing on one part of your body, you can choose to focus on only one part of your body for your warm-up as well. However, I would not advise it. Those dynamic stretches and joint warm-ups are great to do anytime, whether you're going to work out or not. I like to do it before a workout, but also it's a great thing to do in the morning when you're just waking up. You know, you get out of bed. If you're ever super groggy when you wake up in the morning, great to go through that routine. It takes like maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 at most, and you feel like $1 million afterwards. So give it a shot. I recommend, again, you do this before every workout that you do, and you should see your range of motion increase. You should see your injury rate decrease. You should even see higher performance through the range of motion increases, flexibility increases, and muscle activation increases. So give it a shot, and let me know how it goes down in the comments below, and if you think I should add anything to my warm-up routine that is not already in it. Also, remember, as I said, you should still have some sort of exercise component after doing your joint warm-ups and dynamic stretching routine, whether that is just a nice low-impact aerobic exercise like a stationary bike or walking for like 10 minutes, or if it's just doing a lighter, easier version of what you're going to be doing for your working sets, like if you're weightlifting, starting with body weight or lighter bar squats, or something like that. So, thanks for watching. As always, remember, live boldly, change the world, and continue to be awesome. Bye-bye.